All right, it looks like you got a handy dandy little invention today.
Yeah, so we normally bottle feed our babies. It's so fun. I really love it. However, back to office mandate means bottle babies getting to work is getting tricky. It means that I'm getting up at 4:30 in the morning to do these things. And you kind of have a sense of rush, which is not fair to anybody because they need their food and they can feel that, like, you're like, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. They can feel that and they don't really understand why. So I was on Facebook and I actually saw one of the local feed places show that they had this in stock. There was two different ones. One kind of had it could sit on here and then feed from other side. Wouldn't work for me as larger.
Right.
I'm thinking back, it might actually been better because I think the sides were smaller. Anyway, I liked this one better. So this was $31.49. It comes with 3 nipples here.
So what it is, I guess, jumping in, it is a feeder. It's a
feeder,
milk
yeah.
feeder, yeah.
Yeah. So it comes, this bucket, it comes with your 3 nipples here that screw on in the holes in the bottom. They're pre-done. And these are the typical lamb nipples that you would buy on the lamb bottles.
Right.
So it's kind of convenient in that way, like they're kind of already used to it. And then they don't look like they have a hole, but they do. There's no drip.
That's awesome. I was about to say.
As they squeeze, you know, they get what they want.
Yeah.
And he's probably not gonna. Oh,
He won't do it while we're watching. Oh, maybe he will. Look.
yeah.
He understands how to use it. He's
He
the
does.
one that's using it.
He's super fat. So, so one thing, and then this here also comes with it. So what this is you would screw this to wherever you're gonna feed them, and it has slots here on both sides.
Okay.
So depending on how your setup works. And so basically, when you're ready, you just fill up your bucket and you drop it in, and this is kind of it will hold
Perfect.
it, right?
So you don't have to tie it like you did.
Yeah.
But tying does work as well.
So,
Yeah.
and it's nice and flat against, and it's flat here. So you don't have this round against your wood, which, you know, to someone who doesn't have livestock might seem ridiculous, but it actually is very helpful to not have a round side.
Oh, absolutely.
So this takes a lot of milk here to get the nipple. So I tried, it does have little spouts on the inside, and so I have one like straight up, I have one that's like this, and one that's angled to kind of see, and they all really, this one doesn't really work. This one does, and this one does. So I'm forcing him to use one, and you know, if you had 3, they could, it's spaced well enough that they could use it.
Yep.
But overall, I'm quite pleased with it.
Right.
Where I was feeding him with a different nipple on a bottle, I did try the lamb bottle just to get him used to this nip because the other one is super long, so they can really jam it down their throat, basically. And this kind of, they have to stay here.
Right.
And so he took to that. We did 2 on the actual lamb bottle, and then he took to this. So he's actually been eating on his own all day.
Awesome.
Once they are firmly on the bottle, you don't have to heat up the milk. Studies have actually shown that they'll do just as well on warmed milk versus cold milk. So I actually have the cold milk in here, and I don't have to worry about it spoiling because it's cool.
Yeah.
It's warm enough, it's not freezing, so it's all over really.
It's almost like permanently refrigerated out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he can help himself. As you can see, his belly is so full.
He is. He's been a little piggy. And that's
so
awesome. He doesn't have to wait for you in your schedule.
Yeah. And so this has been really good. My only concern with this one is I wish they kind of had one that functioned more with the smaller nips.
Okay.
So that
Interchangeable
goats
nipples would be nice.
have
Yep.
an easier chance because I find some of our goat babies, maybe it's due to their size, you know, I have to go through a whole round of nipples to see which one they like.
Right.
And these are not their favorite of
Right.
any that we bottle fed. You know, and maybe that'll change with the next season's babies because I might get a bigger buck, so the babies will be bigger. And then maybe they'll take to that, and then this will be all I have to do, which is so good when you have to go to work. a trailer that I can just basically top it up. And if I was to go into the office tomorrow, basically I'd just be looking, and he's good.
Yeah.
And mosey on. There's no stress for me. There's no stress for him, and we're thriving because there is that delay with work.
Right.
That I wouldn't be able to meet his schedule, so he is not suffering.
No.
We're testing it out before I have to go into the office, and the only other thing that I've really noticed with it, because I am doing the colder milk, is if he goes from nothing really to first thing filling himself, he'll get a little bit of a chill.
Right.
But we have the
Heat
ever
lamp.
dangerous heat lamp there. So it's perfect. I would recommend buying it. I can't believe, honestly, that it's taking me like 4 years to do this.
It's a very simple idea that's incredibly useful. Now,
Yeah.
why did you buy this instead of just building your own? It seems like all you need is a bucket and some holes.
Well, I am not at all good at this, so I
Right.
was not going to attempt it. But what I was going to attempt was to make a slot to put my current bottles in.
Right.
Where I would have just had the hole and I would have just put it in. And it would have basically been this exact same thing.
The only thing
But
is,
individual bottles.
those individual bottles would require filling more often. They would be harder to fill because, of course, they don't have the open top.
Yeah,
You
so
actually
I'd
have to take the nipples off
I would
every
have
time.
to take the bottles out because
Yep.
we're using top bottles.
Absolutely.
And it's funny because I was actually going to try, and I'm just not that good with building things that I thought I could do this successfully. So when I saw this, I was like, yeah.
And you know
It
what?
works.
It's not terribly priced for what it is. I mean,
Yeah.
granted, it's a piece of plastic with some holes. It includes nipples, which are costly. It doesn't leak, which is actually worth its weight in gold.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing with the home remedy, I feel, for this bucket situation, is keeping it from leaking would be really hard.
Yeah.
Because even our bottles with appropriate nipples leaked.
Exactly. And the thing with this, so this was $31.49. If I was to buy the bottles that these nips go with, they're $10.99 a piece plus tax.
Oh, yeah.
So there's no, I'm not paying more. I'm actually saving money. And this will last us for a long time. I think the spouts will end up getting gunky.
Yeah.
And I'll need to get a wire brush to kind of clean those out, but that's fine. But overall, I think it's going to be great. I think this can also work for calves, maybe not calves, but we usually have a lot of lambs.
Yeah.
So this is really good.
Right.
And unfortunately, I finished bottle feeding all of them but one, so only one of them gets to test. But I think he approves.
Yeah.
He's eating food that he shouldn't be eating.
Now, the nipples, are the nipples replaceable? Because those nipples will probably wear and leak at some point.
So I believe that there are, although I've not seen them individual, but I would assume that you could. But lucky for me, we have some. So if they did go,
Yeah. So
replace them.
if you say you can replace them, does that mean you can use different size nipples? And no, okay.
No.
So it would have to be those exact ones
It
again.
would have to be these because
Okay.
of the this is actually the hole it's got to stuff. So,
Okay.
Unfortunately, I can't switch it, but
Right. But no, it's good. I just want to touch all the bases of
Yeah.
customization and whatnot.
my goats would never go through this as bottle babies. Regardless, they just don't have the consumption that lambs do.
Right.
But I do find the lambs, they really power through food.
Right.
They really do. And so this is going to be great. If I had him and Dalmatian on it, this would be gone already.
You're right.
And I put 4 liters of milk in there,
Okay, yeah.
right? So it's pretty good. And it also has a measuring inside too.
Oh, awesome. Which is useful if you're
Yeah.
doing
So it's
nutrients
8
and that. Like you could supplement and you would know exactly.
Yeah, so it's 8 liters. And
Oh, 8 liters. That's good, yeah.
So if we had 3 lambs, I could fill that 8 liters and leave them for the day and know that they're going to be fine.
Yeah.
So I would recommend buying this type of thing. I think it would cost me more time, definitely more frustration to try to do my
Yeah.
kid bottle thing that I was going to do. So I think this is a buy.
Awesome.
I would recommend that if you have a bottle baby, switch over. It is super enjoyable to do the bottle feeding, but if you want to mix it up and do it, on a random day, you still can because they're still in the bottle. It's just this is going to save you some effort with those farm chores, making you more efficient.
Right.
So,
Awesome.
So
All
I
right,
think
we'll chalk that up to a buy.
We'll actually attach this. I just used the rope here, which was pretty handy.
Yep.
Because I didn't want to attach it in case it wasn't going to go over well.
Well, yeah. Don't want to waste your time.
So I didn't want to waste my time. So, yeah.
Awesome.
I recommend that you buy something like this if you are doing one or more. And it's going to save you a lot of time.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining, guys. Bye.